Hey guys, it's your buddy, your pal, and it is the IT Collector. And today it's another edition of a Star Wars video talking about this new Galaxy Squadron line, Micro Galaxy Squadron line. And specifically today we're going to be talking about Boba Fett's Starship, or Slave One, if you will. Whatever you guys are calling it these days, it is what it is. Anywho, so we're going to be focused on this today. But if you don't know, this is the new line that's to rival against the Micro Machines Action Fleet series from around 20 years ago, made by Galoob. These are made by Jazzwares. They're pretty well done. The main difference between the two is the scale. The previous ones from the Action Fleet line are basically one scale. Doesn't matter if it's a TIE Fighter or the Millennium Falcon, they're all pretty much the same size. This series is kind of cool because they try to scale it to the right scale. So for example, the TIE Fighter is not going to be the same size as Boba Fett's ship here, and vice versa. Any other smaller vehicles, they're not all just one size. So that's pretty cool. I think that's an improvement. Detail wise, I'll let you have your opinion on that. I think that's pretty good. The pros and cons on both sides, but make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the Action Fleet review or video that I've made. I'll post it right here. It's a nice video of my whole collection of the Action Fleet, and today we're actually going to compare the Jango Fett from Action Fleet to this one to see the size comparison and the difference between the two. So that's kind of exciting. So without further ado, let's open it up and let's take a look. So there is a closer look at Boba Fett's Slave One Starship. This we're gonna talk about the box for a second before we get into the figure itself, or the vehicle. So each of this line has this collectible blueprint, they call it. So you can cut that out and collect these. I don't know if anyone does that, or it might be for kids, but either way, that's there just so you know. And then it shows the different parts that move on this ship. So here you have the cockpit, the turret, the back ramp, and then you have a little area for the bomb or seismic charge, if you will. That's where that is. And then also the wings that rotate 90 degrees. That's what that's showing. And then it shows the other vehicles in the line. This is part of the light armor class. These vehicles, Starfighter class and Starship class. And I believe this is part of the Starship class. It's, Boba Fett's Starship, so I assume that's the class that this is part of. And this is the launch edition. And I forgot to show you, inside it has artwork that you can probably put the ship here and have it displayed if you want. I've been noticing that on the others. For example, you can do this. And now you just created a diorama kind of this ship with that background there. So I don't know, it's just an idea, but it seems like they put some effort into this, so I'm not sure if that's what they're using it for. It's just an idea. And then what I want to show you real quick is the figures. So here it has Fennec and Boba Fett, of course. So this is from the Book of Boba Fett series. So that's pretty much the only other accessories that come here. They're about 1 inch in height. Just to compare, this is the Action Fleet Boba Fett's Slave One. Let me open it up and see if I can get Boba Fett out, which I have out. And then here you can compare the two. Obviously the gear, this one is from probably Return of the Jedi, or the older series compared, the outfit that they're wearing there. But you can see the size is very similar. I believe the Action Fleet one is just a little bit bigger, a centimeter or so, but basically the same thing. So that's interesting that they have those figures. And of course you just drop it in here in the Action Fleet series. So now specifically, let's talk about the ship itself. So this is a good close-up of it. You can see the detail, the paint job, all that looks pretty good. You don't really, I mean, it is kind of a weathered look. Let's compare the two here. You see this is more of a darker burgundy kind of color. This is a little bit more faded. Still not bad. Here on this one you see some kind of like weathered looks. And then let's compare underneath if there's any detail here. It has some detail. You can see that they did add a little bit of detail on both, but obviously it's not that big of a deal. Here you have exposed screws which look a little weird, but not much on the engine. Since I'm here on the bottom, this is one thing that does open up, and there is the depth charge, or whatever you want to call it, seismic blast bomb there. You can't remove it or anything. It's just built into this plastic here, but that's just one little neat feature, I guess, because that plays a part in the movies. So this does have the rotating wings, same as the Action Fleet. You can see that there. One cool thing is the cockpit. So opens up this way as opposed to opening up this way. And then you have the cockpit here for, I believe, 3 passengers. You can see that right there, 3 passengers. And what's cool about it is it rotates just like the real one in real life, if you will, real life, movie real life, or series. Anyway, so that's pretty cool that it rotates, because that's a big deal with Boba Fett's ship, which we've never seen before. We always wondered how that works, since they kind of sit at an angle and actually fly upright this way. So for those of you that don't know, but yeah, so that's kind of cool that they did that rotating cockpit. And then here you have the guns that can move as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything here. Oh yeah, so here, if you open this up, there's the cargo hold, right? And then if you swing this out, you see all of his weapons. So that's kind of cool. Let me give you a good close-up there. Obviously it's not detailed, but you know, it's just cool that they actually considered the time to have that, and that it flips open like that. So I thought that was interesting. A nice little bonus, if you will. And then here you have the ramp. Let me open that, and then this slides down, and there you have the ramp. I'm not sure if this is meant to be like that. I got to figure out, you know, how if the inside ramp comes out all the way. I couldn't really yank it any further, so I don't know. It does kind of move, so I don't know, maybe there's something I need to do or look into it further to do that. But either way, that's how that ramp comes out. So up, and then it goes back, slides back, and back into place there. So still pretty cool. And then, as we saw, you know, the wings, I already mentioned, move as well. So the big difference between these two is what? That's right, the size. So it's a huge difference in size. So for example, from tail to the front, it's about 9 inches, and this one is only 6 inches. So 9 inches versus 6. So that's the main difference between Action Fleet and this new series is the scale. So Action Fleet has pretty much all of their line is all scaled the same size. Like, look at the X-Wing. This is Action Fleet. Look at the X-Wing compared to Boba Fett's ship here. So that's pretty much one size fits all. Same with their Millennium Falcon from the Action Fleet line compared to the one on this line. So huge difference. That's kind of cool that they did it to scale. These are a little bit better to maybe display, because they fit in your display case better. And of course these end up coming with a display stand as well. All Action Fleet series come with a display stand, so that's kind of a little bonus. But yeah, so that's pretty much the major difference between those. So it's interesting to see that they did a good scale on that. Now, just to compare, this is the Razor Crest from the same line, so you can see the size there as well. That's them two. Get this in view. That's them side by side next to each other. They're both pretty much a similar scale. And here's the transport, just for your own comparisons. So yeah, pretty cool. That's a good size comparison, and that's pretty much it on the details of this guy. So there you go. There's a closer look at Boba Fett's Starship Slave One, and as you can tell, as you saw, that's the main difference between the two lines. Like, I mean, it's a huge difference. These are actually really cool to display because the scale is, you know, can fit in your display case maybe, but the only thing is the other ships are pretty much this size. So it kind of depends on what kind of display you want. Maybe you can cycle this one in with the action fleet to get it a little bit of a mix, but either way, pretty impressed with this one. I really like the size on it, which is why it costs more, but it's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, it's a lot of Star Wars content, so make sure you subscribe, but click like on this video as well. But it's not just Star Wars. I have stuff from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, ranging from Ninja Turtles, Predator, Terminator, Back to the Future, all types of things from Marvel and DC. So make sure you subscribe and check it all out. Pretty awesome stuff coming soon this year, or the end of this year. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, stay collecting, my friends.